INFPs are often described for their forgetfulness or absent-mindedness, floaty and clumsy, as one might say. But while INFPs appear clumsy and may always be scolded for forgetting tasks, in reality, they're not as forgetful as people perceive them to be. The truth is that INFPs are walking libraries of memories too. In this video, let's tackle how INFPs are both forgetful and walking libraries at the same time. How do they forget what a person just said, but not the events that happened forever ago? We'll get into that. But before we proceed, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's start. First, let's have a brief overview of the SI and SE functions. See, some people say INFPs are forgetful because they are floaty daydreamers due to their extroverted intuition, NE. But while our imaginative minds are one factor, we could explain it further down. INFP's cognitive functions are positioned as FI, NE, SI, TE, FE, NI, SE, and TI. As we tackle INFP's forgetfulness, we'll focus on two functions: introverted sensing, SI, and extroverted sensing, SE. Here's a short description. When we're talking about physical experiences, we're referring to no other than the sensing functions. The introverted sensing, SI function, allows INFPs to remember significant experiences in the past. Because of this, they are drawn to recall what they have tasted, heard, touched, smelled, and seen. And it's also the reason why SI users are nostalgic people. They cling to a lot of memories. On the other hand, extroverted sensing, SE, allows people to have a quick response time to experiences in the present. With this, SE users are more in the moment and keen on their physical surroundings. SI is the archive, the recollection of our past experiences. SE is for perceiving our encounters at the present moment. And, well, if we're talking about perception of concepts in the future that you haven't experienced yet, that's part of your intuition. Now, here's why INFPs are actually walking library of memories. Each function has a different behavior, and each position from the first to the 8th cognitive spot dictates a different role. INFP's sensing SI function is in 3rd cognitive spot. Meanwhile, extroverted sensing SE sits farther at the 7th cognitive spot. So what does this imply? Being on the ego stack, SI users have an attachment to the memories of past experiences and don't easily let go. They're the epitome of nostalgia. Because INFPs are hardcore feelers and have an archive of memories, they could live a scenario over and over again in their minds and physically feel it, especially with events that touch their values, beliefs, and emotions. Say an INFP guy likes someone and learns that that person has seafood allergies. He will remember the aha moment he felt, how his crush said it, the excitement, and even the weather, leading him to remember which month it happened. Crazy, right? Such events become important personal memory, and they will remember them for years, or even for the rest of their lives. What's more, INFPs remember occasions pretty well: their friends' birthdays, memorable dates, and even the wedding anniversaries of other people. As long as the situation appeals and matters to them, they will subconsciously draw a picture or even create a movie of that memory in their mind. Remember, NE and SI work in an axis. This is why fabricating stories is hard when talking to these dreamers. They paint the images of your words as you speak, store them in their memory archives, and will detect any incoherence easily. In addition to this, once INFPs get enough exposure to a skill numerous times, the experiential memory sinks in, and they start to move with precision. As SI users, their old habits die hard, so whenever they solve a problem, you can catch them redoing the past solutions that worked. In these cases, INFPs are not forgetful at all. But on the flip side, INFPs can be forgetful and floaty dreamers too, and here's why. SE is responsible for the experiences in the tangible world. It's focused on what happens in the now. Having SE in the 7th cognitive spot makes it INFP's blind spot function. As a result, despite them trying hard to get in touch with their physical environment, they still seem to subconsciously detach from it, with their minds drifting back to their inner world. Long story short, SE blind spots makes INFPs unaware of their physical surroundings. It also explains why they bump their heads, trip, or get lost in a place they've gone to 7 times. As for me, if a fight starts in the streets, I'll be lost who's fighting who, while everyone else has already picked up on what happened. I also admit I still get lost in my own neighborhood, and that's because rather than observing my surroundings, I drift to monologuing or singing inside my head. That said, INFPs become forgetful because they unconsciously lean to live inwardly and struggle to focus on their physical environment consistently. Don't get me wrong, INFPs can be very keen when it involves nonverbal cues, behaviors, morals, and sentiments. INFPs can still be exceedingly good and detailed with practice, but with physical surroundings it would take extra effort compared to other SE users who are consistently in touch with the material world. In conclusion, forgetfulness is something that INFPs may dwell on a lot of times. Although it's a normal part of who they are, we can also improve this aspect by being more in touch with our surroundings. On the contrary, INFPs' strong memory is also their strength. They can remember important details and specific events for a long time and use them to inspire their ventures. This helps them to be good at keeping track of their own lives and also the lives of others. That's it about INFPs' forgetfulness. What do you think? Share your insights below. Thanks!